I'm Karen. Welcome to another study and practice video here at Yoga in Somerset. In the study and practice videos, we work with certain passages of text and also some pictures about a specific pose to really get right inside that position and understand it more deeply. The pose we're going to work on today is the shoulder stand, sarvangasana, and we're going to use this book by Heinz Grill, The Soul Dimension of Yoga. So we'll start right away by looking at the picture on page 71 of the shoulder stand itself. And what I'd like you to look at first of all is the thoracic spine between the shoulder blades. This part of the spine needs to be very active and mobile in the shoulder stand. So we'll start straight away with some warming exercises to mobilize that region before we come to the shoulder stand itself. So if you'd like to come onto your mats, and we'll start with the sun prayer. Let's become aware of this region between the shoulder blades here, the thoracic spine, at the heart center on the spine, the heart chakra, Anahata chakra. Take your hands to that heart center and then flow upwards from the heart center, streaming up through the upper spine and the arms. Take your hands down next to your feet. Take the right foot back and come into the half moon. Once again, stream upwards. Then come into the plank. Take the knees down, the chest down. Slide forwards into the cobra. Back into the downward dog. Take the right foot forward. Glide up into the half moon again. And the other foot forward. Swing up and grow. And take your hands by your sides. Once again, take the hands to the heart center. Be aware of the thoracic spine. It's just at the level of your heart. Come down. Left foot back. Gliding up out of the thoracic spine. And the plank. Strong line between your shoulders. Knees and chest down. Direct the chest to the ground. Up into the cobra, opening the chest upwards. Downward dog, chest towards the knees. Left foot forward. Come up into the half moon. Other foot forward. Swing up and grow. And take your hands by your sides. So let's give a little bit more emphasis to the thoracic spine itself. Let's come first of all into the standing half moon. Draw the feet and the legs together. Take the arms lightly above the head, keeping the head really free. And think of really lifting up your heart a little bit. Keep breathing. You can allow the breath to flow into that chest area. Awareness of the spine high up between the shoulder blades. And imagine that part of your spine is lengthening so that the movement can stream further up through the arms to the fingertips, getting really long. Then relax your hands down again. Let's do the same thing in the forward bend. Come down and take the hands out in front of you. The feet and the legs are still drawn together, your sitting bones direct backwards. Take the awareness once again to the upper spine and glide forwards as if you're lengthening from that region, allowing the arms to stream out further forwards into the lightness. Keep breathing. The upper spine gains our attention. Relax hanging down again and swing freely up Stream up into the half moon again, and once again build up that stretch, focusing your awareness on the upper spine. Gliding up as if you're lifting up your chest and letting the arms flow further upwards to a gentle point with the fingertips. Take the hands by your sides. Let's do another round of the sun prayer, and we'll focus a bit more on some active lengthening in that region of the spine. Hands together. Take the arms up and lengthen from the upper spine upwards. Take the hands down, and this time glide out forwards as you just did. Now take the hands by your feet, right foot back, come into the half moon and glide up from the upper spine right through the arms. Then come into the plank, good firm line, knees down, chest down. Slide the chest along the ground and then open it upwards in the cobra. In the downward dog, bring the chest towards your knees, raising your sitting bones up, long legs. Take the right foot forward. Good base with your legs. Glide up and grow again between the upper spine, gliding up through the arms. Hands by your feet, left foot forward. Swing up again to the standing half moon and grow. Take the hands by your sides. Once again, hands to the heart. Take the arms up. Consciously lift the chest. The chest is opened up. The arms stream upwards. Take the hands down to the ground again. Left foot back. Form a good base. Once again, we can actively lift our chest. The hips anchor down. Gliding right through the arms, the chest becomes more and more open. Plank. Knees down. Chest and face down. Slide along the ground and open into the cobra, opening the chest right up. Downward dog. Chest towards the knees. Left foot forward. Come up into the half moon. Opening the chest once again. Take the other foot forward. Swing up and once again open the chest to glide up through the arms. Take the hands down. Let's look at another position from the sun prayer, which is also very good for mobilizing the thoracic spine. And this is the caterpillar pose. Start with your hands directly under your shoulders, your knees directly under your hips. Then hollow your back, sticking your bottom into the air, and bring your chest down so that your chest and your face are both on the floor. In this position, you can feel a really strong stretch between the shoulder blades. And just hold it for a few moments if you can, so you get used to working that region of your spine. Then slide forwards and now keep that part of your spine working in the cobra. You can tighten your shoulder thoracic region and open the chest upwards. And push back into downward dog once again. Long, long spine, long, long legs. And see if you can lengthen the heels down and the sitting bones up, and notice how your chest comes further towards your knees if you do that. Then you feel more stretch in between the shoulder blades. And take the knees down onto the ground again. Let's come back and do one more round of the sun prayer, bringing these ideas into our practice. Hands to the heart, gliding up. Take the hands down, right foot back, half moon, plank. Take the knees down, take the chest actively down and slide forwards, opening it right up high. Come into the downward dog. Always keep the awareness at that upper region of the spine. Take the right foot forward, form a good base. Glide up and really lift the chest, flowing up into the arms. Other foot forward. Swing up, and once again a really good active growth from the thoracic spine. Hands by your sides. Hands together. Gliding up, lengthening from the thoracic spine upwards. Take the hands next to your feet. Left foot back. Glide up and grow. Plank. Knees and chest down, really actively lengthening between the shoulder blades, and then up into the cobra, opening the chest. Downward dog. Chest towards the knees, long legs. Left foot forward. Come actively upwards, opening the chest. Other foot forward. Swing up. Lift your chest and grow. Hands by your sides. Good. So let's come to the shoulder stand itself now, and I'm going to read from the beginning of the chapter. Sarvangasana means the position of all parts. It is the asana which has its center in the heart, and out of this center spreads itself centrifugally out into the limbs. Like a stalk of corn, full of life, the body strives dynamically against gravity into the graceful candle-like line. The picture of etheric flowing, the flowing of the life forces out of the heart into the periphery of the body, is shown in an impressive way with this asana. We'll leave it there for now. I'd like to come to some preparatory exercises for the shoulder stand, where we develop this so-called etheric flowing, this flowing of life energy out of the heart center. Just to mention, it can be helpful to use a blanket to relieve pressure on your neck if you find that this position at the beginning is causing pressure on your neck. Once you've mobilized the thoracic spine more, then that shouldn't be necessary. But in case you do want to use a blanket, what's important is that your shoulders are on the blanket and your head is off the blanket, above it on the mat. So your shoulders are higher than your head. That's what relieves the pressure on your neck. So that's an option. So let's start, either with or without the blanket, in some free rolling exercises to bring about this movement upwards in a very energetic and lively way. So coming up like this, and then back down. Just put your heels on the ground and stretch upwards, stretching between your shoulder blades. And let's do this a few times. And stretch up. Up again. Each time a little bit more between the shoulder blades, that's stretching. And up once again, actively stretching up. And see if you can take your legs off the ground to make it a little bit more active This is the pose of cheerfulness, the sitting balance. So we'll come into the inversion again. And this time take one arm and then the other arm above your head. And see if you can grow a bit more out of that thoracic spine. Come back down again. And come straight into the sitting balance. Once again. Glide up. Take the arms above the head. Glide up even more. Out of the thoracic spine. Come back again. Come into the sitting balance. This time see if you can keep your arms above your head. A little bit harder. You can do the other option if you prefer. Glide up out of the thoracic spine. One more time directly into the sitting balance. Really stretch. And one more time directly up. Back down into the sitting balance. And then take the hands and the legs down. So this time we're going to do a longer hold with the arms behind the back. And let's remember that the growing starts out of the heart centre. Maybe you'd like to just put your hands there at the heart centre to remind yourself where it is. And then we'll come into the inversion again. This time keep the arms behind you on the ground. And we're going to take a more conscious awareness to the head, the shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms and wrists, and the hands. Let the breath flow. And by being really conscious of your contact with the ground in this way, you can then take your awareness to the heart center and allow the movement to come up specifically from that point through your spine, keeping the arms just with that calm contact with the ground. Come back again. Let's come into the sitting balance again if you can. Gliding up. And relax. This time we're going to do some variations with single arms. So I'll come back into that same position. Be aware of your heart center as the central point. And take just one arm above your head. And become aware of these two arms gliding in opposite directions. The central point between the two arms we could imagine to be the heart center. And out of that heart center, the body then rises upwards. One arm at a time, change them around. Once again, feel the gliding in the two opposite directions. Feel the center of the heart. The movement flows upwards out of that heart center. Take both arms behind your back. Roll back into the sitting balance. Gliding up through the spine and relax again. This time we're going to do a movement in which we draw the shoulder blades a bit closer together. We can do it in kneeling first. If you take your hands, clasp your hands behind your back, squeeze the shoulders together as you push the arms away. So the hands are moving downwards. This is the movement we're going to do in the inversion. So come back into the inversion again. Clasp the hands. Bring the elbows and the shoulders and the upper arms all closer together so that you can slide your arms along the ground. And now grow from the region of the thoracic spine, growing up. Let the movement then just flow naturally through into the rest of the body. Come back again to the sitting balance. Glide up. And take the hands and the legs down. We'll do that same movement one more time, and we'll then take the hands onto the middle of the back into the actual shoulder stand. So once again. Clasp the fingers, bring the arms closer together, shoulders closer together, slide along the ground with the hands and let the body flow right up. Come up as high as you can without actually using the hands on your back. And then eventually bring the hands to the middle of your back so you can use them a little bit to help the body come up even further into this straight line. And you can look at your legs streaming upwards towards the ceiling. You see your legs upside down. So in this position, the head, the shoulders and the arms rest on the ground. The heart is the center. And the body flows up in this graceful vertical line. And return again. So now that we've warmed up and prepared our bodies physically for the shoulder stand, I'd like to look a bit more deeply at the content and come back to the picture again. So let's look at the picture a bit more carefully this time. You can see, first of all, if we start at the base, the expression of the face and the head, how it rests very relaxed on the ground. A very calm looking base of the body, the shoulders, the arms, also forming a calm contact with the ground. So the base forms a horizontal surface and the body forms a vertical line. And that meeting point, the junction between the horizontal and the vertical, we could say is exactly at the heart center. So this is the point of focus of our awareness, and this is the point where the movement upwards begins. But if we now cast our gaze upwards through this vertical line of the body, we can see that it doesn't happen with a lot of force or effort, but more there is a very natural sense of flowing up through the body. We can see how the diagonal creases on the t-shirt go upwards through the trunk of the body, indicating that movement upwards. We can see how the legs are together. They seem to glide upwards. And the feet also are together, and they're quite relaxed. They're neither pointed nor pulled into a horizontal position, but they're just in a natural, relaxed end to the movement. We could even imagine that the movement continues up beyond the feet. So there is a sentence that's been added to the German edition of this book, the most recent edition, which goes, "In the final stage, the body is calmly experienced from outside looking in, as a picture. In the final stage, the body is calmly experienced from outside looking in, as a picture." And this is what I'd like to do now. We'll do the shoulder stand one more time, and we'll look at it as if it's a picture. So we'll come into the shoulder stand as we did before. Clasp your hands together. Draw the shoulders together in the arms. Glide the arms along the ground and let the body rise up out of the heart center. Until you can't come any further, and then take your hands to your back and see if you can then adjust the position so that it becomes more vertical. So now let's take this idea. We experience the body from outside looking in, as a picture. And come back down again. Finally, I'd like to come to another passage of text, and this is on page 73, the second last paragraph in your book. And the sentence goes, "Like an ear of corn, flawless on its swaying stem, effortless in the golden shimmer of the sunlight, the inverted body is lifted into space, a fuller space, which practitioners who listen carefully to their perceptions experience as a bluish atmospheric glow." I'm going to read you the sentence again, and this is a picture that I took in the wheat field above my house. The ears of corn aren't perfectly straight, but I think what you can see is the gracefulness of the way that they flow upwards, and that sense of stillness as the field, the golden field, rests in the sunlight. Like an ear of corn, flawless on its swaying stem, effortless in the golden shimmer of the sunlight, the inverted body is lifted into space, a fuller space, which practitioners who listen carefully to their perceptions experience as a bluish atmospheric glow. So let's do the shoulder stand one more final time, and we can keep that picture in our minds of the ear of corn flawlessly swaying in the sunlight. Come into the position as before. Clasp the hands, draw the arms together and the shoulders. Grow from your heart center upwards. Support the back with your hands. And glide up effortlessly into the vertical line. Let's take this image of a flawless ear of corn in the field, shimmering in the golden sunlight. And come out of the position again. So we hope you've enjoyed this video, and keep an eye out for my next one. Bye for now.